What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So it's been I don't know how long. Somebody in the comments will say, there he is again doing this kind of content and go talk about mariachis and tacos and eat burritos, and they'll make all these racist remarks and then swear that I'm the racist, right? But anyways, it's been a little while since I talked about Adam16 and talked about No Jumper, and I'm not always gonna be the first. I could be the first to hear something and say, you know what, let me let that marinate for a minute. Let's see the angles. And but this was one where, it's just another one of those situations where it's proof of how much a failure No Jumper has become, how much of a joke it has become. It was one of the West Coast biggest platforms. It was one of the West Coast most influential platforms. And now it's a shit show. And so you have Sharp. Sharp did a live and he announced his parting ways with No Jumper, right? And can we just talk about Sharp? Sharp Rob, as Point and Shoot likes to call him. Sharp has been one of the most annoying people since he entered social media. When he was on Soft White Underbelly, it was so hard to watch with this pimp cup and him whispering and thinking he was the philosophical genius. When he would say something, it was like, what the fuck? But he was one of those people, and there's several on YouTube, there's several on social media. He was one of those people that swore to God, in his heart and his mind, toenails, everything. You couldn't tell him any different. What he had to say was going to be the fucking most powerful shit you were ever going to hear if you would just listen. If you could just overlook the bandana, the old woman bandana he was going to tie around his hair, right? And the whispering and the pimp cup, and like, it was just, Soft White Underbelly was a trip. And then No Jumper saw that, and of course Adam, instead of saying like, this fool's a clown, Adam was like, oh my God, I need to hire this guy. And now Adam's wondering how did he get in the situation he finds himself in now. Well, so Sharp did this whole video and talked about No Jumper, and he doesn't like the people there, and he doesn't like things that are going on. Homie, you can't get views without them. You were a splash in the pan, Sharp. You were a crane crusher, right? This whole pimp thing. You were in a rap group that failed, and then when No Jumper had a rap song that's a piece of shit song that you would have fit on perfect, you weren't there because Almighty Suspect, the other train wreck. No Jumper is like a pick apart of all the train wrecks in California. Fuck. Like, and Adam now, as he is known to do, with his security at No Jumper, he's now talking big tough guy shit. He's saying that Sharp is the pimp that became a hoe, and how do you push P to how did he go from pushing P to drinking P? Like, fool, Adam. You made several comments about when you showered and how your finger slipped by accident into your asshole on more than one occasion. You're a weirdo. You have a lot of these SA allegations against you on the social media. You have a history of tweets where you talked about the R word as if it was a joke. You have all these fake ass street dudes around you. And you think that because these dudes ain't really that, but they have the right vernacular to someone who doesn't have the type of ear to hear the bullshit. You think that protects you. I honestly don't understand why people even watch No Jumper. And you know, people are gonna say, "Well, why you just watched it?" Yeah, I'm a content creator, so I look at a lot of stuff that's on YouTube and a lot of stuff that's on TikTok, a lot of stuff that's on social media. I get sent a lot of stuff. But what we are witnessing, I believe we are witnessing a shift. There's a power shift on YouTube, man. Wes Watson has become a failure on YouTube, and people are gonna say, "What do you mean?" Go look at his views, man. Look at his subscriber count and then look at his views. Subscribers, we all want subscribers. I mean, it's a great thing because it's a support system. But when you have over 500,000 subscribers and you struggle to get 7,000 views, that means your subscribers have turned their back on you. They just forgot to unsubscribe. And, you know, there's a thing that YouTube likes to do, and they like to not send out notifications to your subscribers. So there's a lot of people that just forgot they're subscribed. So Wes Watson has become a failure on YouTube. He's now just he's relegated to just hustling people out of their money. And when people say, "Well, you talk shit about Wes Watson," I do, because I feel like he is taking advantage of people who can't figure out that he's a made-up character. He was never in the California prison other than reception center. He was out of state his entire term, and he was never in the shoe. There are only 3 shoes in California: Tehachapi, Corcoran, and Pelican Bay, and he was never in any of those. His stories, none of them. I don't give a fuck about what Santos G has to say. Put on a cape to help Wes and save Wes. Wes would take a shit on that dude. Like, you got to recognize who you're trying to defend, man. That was a bad look. But anyways, so No Jumper and Wes Watson, 2 huge platforms, are failing. They truly are. And everyone, I watched this morning. I was gonna do a reaction to the video. I honestly, go and watch it. No Jumper did a 3-hour live, and a lot of it had to do with Sharp. And you have Almighty Suspect, who, when he had to step away from No Jumper for a minute, was actually streaming gameplay from a PS3, and said that he needed donations in order to do it, or he wasn't going to. You're playing on a PS3. Like, you have no support. He's a fake-ass pimp who has a 72-year-old's body. Like, I watched him rap. Like, I don't know, Holmes. I'm trying to have fun with this, but it's a trip, and I think I think I'm gonna start tuning in, because it's a train wreck, and these people are all parasites. But who's the host? The parasite kills its host. The platform itself, is that the host? Adam has no talent. He just surrounded himself by people, but the people he has surrounding him now, the only one that has any kind of talent, the only one, is Poetic Flaco. If No Jumper, if Adam16 fired everyone right now, if he fired Brick Baby, Almighty, Lush, Poetic Flaco, if he fired all of them, Poetic Flaco is still going to be making, when I look at his numbers, I think Poetic Flaco is probably pulling in $20,000 to $30,000 a month on his own platform. Sharp and the rest of them, I would be shocked if they're pulling in $3,000. Like, it would blow my mind if they are making $3,000 on their own without the No Jumper platform. So like, Adam is a leech. Adam is squeezing these fools dry. But I almost forgot what I was gonna say, but I'm back, because So when I was watching the live and I saw all these dudes shitting on Sharp, at one point, and go and watch this, and I should have clipped it. At one point, Brick Baby goes to wipe his nose and finds a booger, finds a straight booger, a moco, people, looks at his thumb, and then wipes it on the seat. And he's on fucking camera. That is probably the best footage on No Jumper in a year. YouTube, can we get a cleanup on aisle No Jumper? Can we just get a cleanup on No Jumper, please? Thank you. Like the fact that the dude picked his nose and rubbed it on the chair. And nobody was like, what the fuck are you doing? That is great on No Jumper. That is... Almighty is still there. Why is Almighty? Why is Lush there? What does Lush bring? Does Lush even have like average of 1,000 views on his video? Like when I will say this, when Adam16 brought Poetic Flaco on, he was having numbers on his own platform. It made sense. Sharp was so fucking annoying, but he had numbers on Soft White Underbelly. Makes sense. Almighty, like he was a rapper. Was it for that? Once you went away from doing the rap stuff, 16. Why have that dude? Like these fools talking about pimps? Like that's on the verge of a bad charge in a lot of places now, Holmes. That's and Almighty is not built to be able to defend himself. So you shouldn't put him in a position for him to create enemies based off of his character that he's creating on No Jumper. That fool barely beat up Kelpie the P. Bring Kelpie the P back. And it'll be the battle of the worst mustaches between Kelpie the P and fucking Almighty. Almighty. How did he get that name? Almighty Suspect. Susser. What does he call himself? Susser? I don't know, man. I just I saw this and I just, to me, it's interesting. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to make another video for this channel because I know a lot of people really don't give a damn about No Jumper, Sharp, but I just find it interesting to see the decline in one of the most influential platforms the West Coast had. And I think it is a shift in YouTube itself. I think there's a lot of different things going on the platform. And if people pay attention, some of your favorite YouTubers are just not getting the views consistent with the subscriber count. And I think YouTube is trying to take itself in a different direction. We're gonna have to just pay attention. But I'll keep this. Let's see. Yeah, we've more than enough time on this subject, man. I'll keep this short, man. I'll get this out to you guys. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.